Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be back with another young Indian, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Sagar Kumar. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Sagar.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. First of all, I would like to thank you for the platform you are providing. I remember you have approached me last year only around October, but that time I was a bit occupied and I requested you to shift this thing in near future. So yeah, I am very happy at the moment and like I am ready to discuss about myself. So coming into I'm starting with my academic career basically. So I done my schoolings and plus two from my home state, Jharkhand, basically from Dhanbad and Bokaro. My journey is quite monotonous in the sense that quite with coming with a quite growth actually. So I changed so many places, so many institutes, so many right now jobs as well. So I like to start with my academic career. So I done my primary and secondary level schooling from Dhanbad, and then I went to Bokaro for pursuing plus two. After that, for graduation, I went to University of Delhi, where I pursued BA Honors Economics from Satyavati College. And then again, it was a quite a impactful journey because coming from a very village background to the metropolitan city for the very first time, it
But,
was a quite a
but
yeah.
you said Dhanbad. Dhanbad is not a village.
Sir, it's a district basically. Yeah, the place name is Maithon, and it's a typical village area. Yeah,
Okay.
Dhanbad is a yeah.
So you didn't
It's
grow up in Dhanbad. You grew up
no,
in.
not exactly in the city. Yeah, yes,
Okay.
sir.
So tell us that village and all.
Yeah, so Maithon Dam is basically where we live. We have a very beautiful dam you can search on. Everyone can search. In fact, this dam is supposed to call like a Kashmir of Jharkhand, something like that. It's a very wonderful dam, and it's a very good picnic spot as well. So we grow there, and of course we like to spend time whenever I was in my home. Even now, I went to dams and spend like 1 2 hours for walking, for jogging sometimes. Yeah.
Okay.
This
So
is
and
about
did
the
you
dance. Yeah.
did you study in Hindi or English in that place?
So till class 8, I studied in Hindi medium. After that, I joined Kendra Vidyalaya. It was again a very drastic change to learn everything science, maths, SHT, social science basically in English platform.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was a quite impactful as well at the same time. Then for plus two, I went to Bokaro, Devi Public School. So again, like going from the village to the towns thing, we have to manage. We have to like book our PG. We have to manage our food. At the same time, I'm also preparing for ITJ. So like after school hour, we have to go through the coachings and all like 4 to 6 hours on an average regular basis. Then we have to manage our time as well at the same time. Of course, we have to meet our parents' expectation, our own expectation, need to take care of our health, the coachings, the DPP daily practice papers and all. Of course, like most of the Indians, at least like those who are preparing for IIT or medical, has gone through this thing. So yeah, then I basically went to University of Delhi after Bokaro, where I pursued economics. Coming to the economics also is a very typical task and challenging to convince my parents at the same time because they were like pushing me for go for engineering. But I somehow I listened that career in economics is good and I'm little bit good at mathematics at that point of time. Even now, I would say. So yeah, I believe that economics curriculum is basically too rigorous in terms of mathematics and all what I have heard from my one of my uncle. So yes, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I pursued economics there. Then, of course, along the time I get interested. I am, so basically my father has a shop. So I wrote like always seeing money and all everything. Newspaper, I used to read newspaper a lot, specifically the sports section. But of course, some numbers. I like numbers basically. So in terms of that, the interest in economics is basically grown. Of course, I like to discuss political things, some social aspects, social political discussion. Basically, I used to do a lot in my UG colleges. So yeah, Yeah, this is all about University of Delhi career. Then I, of course, like all others, I decided to pursue higher studies in economics itself, and not, of course, there is always a family pressure or like societal pressure to go for like civil services or appear for government jobs, SSC and all. But at the same time, I felt that I am not built for that thing, because, of course, at IIT itself, I get to realize that, like, in terms of the volume, in terms of my capability, I'm not good with it. So I decided to pursue higher studies. Then I appeared for so many entrances at my third year at University of Delhi. The first was I for the first I went into is Hyderabad Central University. I went there, I joined, and I was there for around 1.5 months, if I am correct. And at the same time, somehow in my back of the mind, I was like, I wanted to join JNU, I wanted to join JNU, but they are not releasing their result at that point of time. It was quite, because of some paper leak or something happened at 2019. So yeah, they were not releasing the results. At the same time, I have also appeared for CDS Trivandrum. I was there in waitlisting, so they called me suddenly, and yeah, it was a very tough decision for me whether to leave Hyderabad Central University, because it's a very big university and it's a good name, renowned university. We have so many disciplines, but at CDS we only have opportunity to learn economics, nothing apart from that. Now they have introduced one two courses like ethnographic studies and all, but yeah, I mean, very, multidimensional approach they started. But matlab, it was there as well, but but at like pursuing career at university gives so many advantages it itself. And yeah, so it was a very tough call for me, and I went to CDS at that point of time. So yeah, then after that, like, we were I completed there till, so basically first semester is like gone like a rocket, or like, very rapidly. Yeah, it always happened with every institute, right?
Yeah.
Because we starting late, we are going to start late, and like December is very soon to come, and like we have to go through so many events and exams, midterms, interns and all. So first semester is gone. Then I went back to my home for the first time, and at that point of time, of course, my family were not insisting me to join CDS because it's in Kerala, and
Yeah.
the hype at that point of time about Kerala was like, for North Indian or the East Indian or the Central Indian part, people like, ki maja might happen, anything can happen, like things like that,
Yeah.
antisocial things like that. So my mummy especially told me, no, no, don't go, please don't go. She never tried to stop me for doing anything, but for the first time she realized कि मेरा बेटा बहुत दूर जा रहा है, don't go,
Uh,
something like that.
uh,
I was like, I tried to convince her, but yeah, at the same time, I really wanted to join because of
uh,
two, three reasons. I like the Kerala state policy. I was kind of practicing, following the Kerala state economy things. And of course, socially, the structure of Kerala, what today is with respect to whole India, it's a amazing and totally different thing. The way they deal with people, the way their expenditure is uh, constrained to, specific sectors, and they how they, focus to improve the quality of life, quality of education and all. So yeah, these are the two, three factors which I consider to go for CDS, and of course the tag coming from the JNU itself. So, and I always wanted to go to JNU at that point of time, so I joined CDS. Then first semester is gone. Second semester, mid of the second semester, actually, what happened? COVID came, so we
yeah.
have to went back to our home. There are so many tantrums and, emergency kind of situation within the campus, outside the campus, getting the air tickets and all, like railway ticket, air ticket. Everyone is facing so many constraint issues and all. So I decided to go back to my home. At that point of time, I have applied for internship at IGIDR. Uh, yeah, in the second semester itself. So I was also, convinced that IIDR is a very good place. It's an RBI institute, regulated by RBI, funded by RBI. And yeah, I mean, there is a different perspective altogether whenever we like listen to the term IGIDR itself, the institute itself. At least for me, or like I have talked with so many people, it doesn't matter whether you are coming from ISID school or like JNU, but whenever we listen to the term IGIDR, because of the RBI tag, it's give you an edge. I would say I have a feeling of that because of the pool size is also very low. Like they highly accommodate 30, 40 people in a batch size. It's kind of very similar to CDS itself. So yeah, so again I appeared for day school. I have applied for day school IGIDR and I think JNU as well at that point of time. During I was completing my second semester at CDS. I don't know why I have applied. I just have a second thought because of so many constraints, campus life and personal things. Also, something was going very not in favor of me, I would say. But yeah, so I applied for IGIDR entrance. I cleared the entrance. Then it took me. It was around August was the time. I think 6 August or something like that. 15th August, around 6, 7, 10th August. We have appeared for IGIDR entrance. Then they come up with their results around mid of November. And at that point of time, my sister's wedding is supposed to come at 1st of December. So I was quite occupied. I am a single male son of my mother. So I was quite occupied at that point of time because of so many home stuffs and all. So we have to, and again at the same time, I was also like in the third semester. I went to the third semester. So many online classes were scheduled. Midterm, intern. I have appeared for almost everything in the third semester for CDS, and the result suddenly came out of IGIDR. Then again, it was a challenging for me to decide because I have cleared almost like 3 semester I have in CDS, right? So at that point of time, my father told me, okay, go admission le lo. Took the admission and let's see if because they are giving a window of 1 month, you can withdraw your admission and the whole amount will be refundable except for some like 1,000 or 2,000 convenience fee or something like that. Some fee, some cost was there. Yeah, so I took the admission. Then I was again occupied with the marriage and all. So for the first 2 weeks, I was not able to cope up with the syllabus, with the classes, with the persons, my classmates and all because I was too occupied. And yes, then and of course they stressed the whole semester into 2 months. Like
Yeah,
we completed first semester and second semester within 5 months, so two
yeah,
and a half months. So we have midterms, interns, so many courses. Of course, I have an age because I have done the Maskol LMWG at CDS. So it was kind of repeating the course again and again because the syllabus is almost similar to what we learned at CDS. So all the four subjects actually had very similar curriculum with respect to CDS. So
mm,
I didn't found any difficulty, but in the second semester there are some courses where I really, especially the micro course, one of the micro course, and yeah, and time series was also there. So it's very difficult to cope up with, for me at least, with the micro and time series at the same point of time. But yeah, somehow we cleared that semester as well. Then things started, COVID restrictions were started to clear on, and some unlocks were there for like in a month or two, for 1 month or 2 months. Then again, COVID happened, like lockdown happened around Durga Puja, Dashera.
yeah,
Then institutes were opened up at that point of time. It's not on the rapidly, but yeah, some students, some institute were calling up their students. So we got the opportunity to visit IGIDR around mid of May, sorry, mid of February. Till mid of May, I was there. End of May, I was there. Yeah, so at the same time, we have a placement process around December of 22, 21. Yeah, December of 21. So again, we have to deal with so many, constraint exams, mid-sem, end-sem, and of course there is a pressure for placement as well at the same time. So I have almost, there are, of course, IGIDR provides a good platform for placement. There are so many companies at the same time, and the placement coordination and placement committee working very hard for us, for all of us actually. And so I some companies give some IQ level test or some test to, even to
Yeah,
participate into the interview. Some call it IQ test, some call it some other name. I don't
yeah,
remember it.
yeah,
Yeah. So there are like 13, 14 companies came at that point of time, and almost I guess I have appeared for all the interview
yeah,
except for one or two. Yeah,
yeah.
I cleared all the entrances or the written test, whatever they are asking for, except for one or two, I believe. And most of the companies I have gone to second round, or even for one of the company I went to third round, and it was like very shocking to me at that point of time because I didn't get selected, and most of my friends were also worried that यार इसका कैसे नहीं हो रहा because he is going to every company till the end and nobody is selecting him. So I
Mm,
was kind of getting depressed at the same time कि what is happening, nothing is happening यार, like I'm going through so many interviews again and again and again. I appeared for around what, like 15, 16 interview at that time, but yeah, I didn't get placed at that point of time within the placement week. Then again, but placement is continuously like the week is ended, but companies are yet to come because like many of us are not placed at that point of time. And of course it's globally challenging as well at that point of time because of less hiring or freezing is also there in the economy.
mm,
Yeah. So of course we got the opportunity. I got the opportunity to have an interview with Experian Analytics. It's a credit bureau agent.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
in India. So I cleared the interview and I received the offer letter. And finally, I was like feeling very light, very very confident at that point of time that okay, now I have something
yeah,
with respect to what our friends, and of course people are there, placement committee, we're working continuously there, people are like always in touch with me. I am more kind of person who talk with everyone, a good vibe I could say.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so people were talking to me at the same time, giving motivations, learnings as well. The learning was so good, at that point of time because I used to talk with so many seniors at the same time because of the placement thing. Not immediate senior, but super senior, like
yeah,
3 year, 5 years
yes,
seniors, 10 years seniors, maybe some
yeah,
cases.
yeah,
Yeah, so it was a very wonderful experience, and at that point of time, I realized the LinkedIn connection of LinkedIn. So I started growing my LinkedIn connection at the same time as well. Yeah, and I was quite actively looking for job at that point of time. But yeah, after getting the job experience, it was a very wonderful experience for me. And
mm,
at the same time, IGIDR also came us also allow us to came to the campus. So we were all feeling very thrilled, amazing at the same time because IGIDR campus is so nicely structured, made on, and it's a beautiful campus.
mm,
Yeah. So yeah, this is it. Then again, we went back to like we goes to IGIDR. The mainly the course, I have taken a master thesis under Dr. Tanya Bose. It was a wonderful experience working under him with her actually. Yeah, and the topic is quite relevant at that point of time. Even now, because it's a comparative analysis between UP and Bihar. I'm just giving you a flavor. Both the state has started with the same level of capital population density kind of thing, and economic structure were quite very similar to both the
yes,
states, UP and
yes,
Bihar,
yes,
around 1990s.
yeah,
But after the reform, Noida sector has grown tremendously, but for
yes,
Bihar, what is working because they are so underdeveloped now. Some construction bridges, they have built some construction bridges. Transportation is like Nitish Kumar has invested in Sucharu Rajya or something. Their slogan was like that, Sucharu Rajya or something. Uh, and casteism is like that. After Nitish came to power, they have not much, but of course they have worked in some some flavor that he the caste basically he demolished the proportion of affection, the caste, the role of caste basically he has uh, enhanced in positive terms, of course. And at tourism there he also promoted tourism very much in Bihar. So the growth was quite high for Bihar, and there is always conflict between central and state government. That how could
Yeah.
NSSO giving some other data, Bihar governance is giving some other data, and their way of calculating the GDP growth rate or even the GDP, because and the segmentation also is quite different. So yeah, it was an interesting comparison, and of course throughout the period, Tanya was also like invested very much, and there is one paper by Montek Singh Ahluwalia. I was taken this paper as a base. It was a paper of 1999, and it has mainly discussed the economic, composition, basically sectoral composition, which sector
Yeah.
is affecting India in what manners, or Indian
Yeah.
state in what manners. It was like
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have taken the base of this paper as a base paper, yeah, and I build my theory or the thesis in itself. Then I have a one wonderful course of Srijit Misra. He has offered us human development, HDP, basically human development and progress, something like that, program or progress. The course name was like that. Of course, then we have to field work basically. I went to like three, four. I have basically chosen the topic of education because I am pretty much inclined toward education and the development sector itself. So I went to two, three colleges, schools, primary schools basically at my locality, and I went there and noted down. We have a set of question here. We try to, you know, uh, figure out like what is the impact of COVID on the primary education first, on the children second, on the teachers itself. Like they have almost, very constrained in terms of resources, like how to communicate with children and all. So this course is also very interesting because it gives me the field experience. At the same time, he's also a very good instructor as well. He's a very good,
Yeah.
philosopher, I would say, because he has a very multidisciplinary actions, coursework and framework always in his mind. Whenever we goes to him and like talk about, we can talk. I have a discussion with him basically from Ambedkar, Lohia, and Jyoti Vasu, the
Mm.
role of Jyoti Vasu, then Kerala.
Mm. Mm.
Isaac Thomas was also there. I guess he's a
Yeah.
finance minister at that point of time. So we had a discussion on. We discussed a lot actually in
Okay.
terms of
Yeah.
multidisciplinary. Yeah. So yeah, and of course, IGIDR was a wonderful experience for me, I would say. And yeah, this is all about my academic career. Then I went to my professional career. I just started immediately after the coursework has finished.
Yeah.
And of course, working at Experian gave me a very wonderful and at the same time very learning experience. Basically, I was working in credit risk domain, so I have a lot of I basically we are not from tech background, right? So my learning was started from learning Python.
Yeah.
Then I have a understanding of the domain, basically the how credit risk work, what is the role of credit risk, what does banking even mean in real terms when we
Yes.
have data and all, and of course the risk coming at the same time, like quantitative qualitative both the learning basically going with me. uh, I have so basically Experian is a consulting firm at the same time,
Yes.
and we provide consulting to different financial institutions like banks, sometimes it's automobile sector as well at the same time.
Yeah.
So I have developed more. I was mainly in the regulatory aspect basically, and in which basically I was the main task was prepare a regulatory reporting. As a credit bureau agency, we need to submit the overall our model performance, basically how our model is behaving as a
Mm.
whole for the country or the portfolio as a whole. So I
Yeah.
was mainly dealing with this thing, in which basically we have to validate our model first thing. Second, also I part of the team in which we are building scorecard models for different banks. I
Yeah.
prepared for banks actually, in which of course their learning was very good, I would say excellent, I would say.
Mm.
And we get to learn so many things in terms of how to deal with client
Yeah.
in the first
Yeah.
place, like
Yeah.
how to take responsibility. Of course we do mistakes because it's our first job and
Yeah.
we are we are learning.
Yeah.
Yeah, so of course the learning was quite good. At the same time, you know i I met so many people, so many colleagues, I would say, who are still in touch with me, and they are very helpful at the same time. Of course, the team lead was our alumni. He was also passed from IGIDR. So, so of course, he is very supportive at that point of time. And yeah, then what else? This is all about experience, I would say. Then of course, around 23 mid March, I suffered from typhoid then, so the situation was quite worst, so I
Yeah.
decided to went back to my home. So yeah, I was there in my home for 1 month, and I came back to Mumbai, and somehow like I was not cope up with my work and my personal life and my personal health at the same time. And of course there are so many projects and all at the same time, so I was like not able to cope up with so many things at the same time. So I decided to quit that job and try to figure out like what I am actually looking for. Should I pursue higher studies? Should I go for PhD, or should I look after another job? I was so frustrated at that point of time, I would say, and confused as well. And not, I was like,
Mhm.
I didn't like anything at all at that point of
Yeah.
time. I was I was behaving so, none of like my personality. So I went back to my home. I packed everything and I went back to my home. I stayed there for 2 3 months. I took time, and of course take care of my health was a important thing as well. And of course, then I planned a trip for Kedarnath around October end. Then I just wanted a place where I don't know anyone at all. I didn't want to talk to anyone. Just a quiet place for some fun, or peace of mind, I could say. And I was always thinking that this too shall pass, this too shall pass. ठीक है, खत्म होगा. This has to go, right? And I always believe in hope, because hope is always good. So I was always looking forward, like what is next, what is the next chapter coming to me. I was like that.
Mm.
So after coming back from Kedarnath, I started getting calls, and I started looking for a job. So and of course I have some corporate experience, like 1 year of experience. At the same time, as I already said to you, that I was looking undergrad. I was uh, basically I was going for a higher studies. I have planned like that I'll go for a PhD. I'll go for a PhD. But after having a corporate experience, so it was a kind of mixed experience for me, I would say. Of course, the learning was very good. We got to know so many things. The domain knowledge, the corporate experience was amazing exposure to see where we stand at the industry, or like in the society. So I started trying, let's see how the research looks like. I have some experience exposure of master thesis, but it was a thesis at the end. So yeah, it was so I appeared for NCAR, ISID, so many research associate roles. SEGIS I have applied for, CPPR I have applied for. I got opportunity at working with Reggie Thomas. He's a professor at ISID, not ISI in the statistical, but industrial studies, something like that.
Yeah.
Institute for Industrial Studies
Yeah.
at Delhi.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have worked with him for 2 months and basically I have done the literature survey, and I have helped him to prepare a report for uh, Ministry of Finance, or Ministry of Statistical Affair, I guess,
Mm.
where I have given the how Indian manufacturing sector has evolved, and what is the current perspective with respect to China, Korea. There are 3 4 cases basically. Like we have to compare India with respect to China, UK, US, and Canada was also there, I believe. Yeah. So I have helped him for that. After that, at the same time, there is one institute. I hope you have must have heard Ajay Shah. So yeah, so I have appeared for an interview with Renuka Sane. She started basically think tank. It was based out of Delhi. It's the institute. The organization name is TrustBridge Rule of Law Foundation.
Yeah.
I joined there as a quant analyst, and again the domain was same. I worked on the credit risk mainly, and at the same time, I have appeared for so many interviews. Uh, so basically, in December end, January end, I guess I appeared for HSBC interview for in the finance operation teams. The role was stress testing and strategic planning. I cleared the first round and I got the call for the second round. In between of that, excuse me. In between of that, I got TrustBridge. So at that point of time, there was no going back. Okay, let's go away from home. I was feeling like that. I joined the organization. The people were very, very nice. Renuka Sana is a very renowned, she's a very renowned professor, and she was also a part of, there was one research finance group at IGIDR. So she was there. Ren, RAC Renuka Sen, RAC Sen Gupta
Yes.
basically was also there. I forgot her name actually. We used to call her RAC. Yeah. So then Anjali Sharma was also there. So she's also part of the group. And TrustBridge is basically a law, works in mainly three aspects basically to help improve the business of any organization or even for that matter government. See, we basically looked at the law aspect, the economics aspect, and the current curriculum, what is going on in the industry. So we mainly work on regulatory as well as economic aspect for any firm. So I joined TrustBridge. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, I received a call from HSBC HR that are you interested the role? So basically, they freezed the role around before joining the TrustBridge. So I was like, okay, let's join this organization and see what happened. Uh, then suddenly one day they call me and I was like, okay, let me think. Then I decided to appear for the interview, and of course the I appeared for the interview and I cleared the interview. So again, it was a tough call for me, like whether to leave this organization, because this is what I always wanted to go into, and do research. I have made up my mind basically. So it was a tough call for me to, whether to join or not
Mhm.
HSBC. So at the end of the day, I decided, I had a discussion with my seniors, my mentors, you could say. So basically, the role is, the role is very much inclined towards the economics aspect of the bank, how, how to do stress testing of bank portfolio as a whole. So I found this role quite fascinating. It's very much similar to my academic background as well, because we have to do lots of number crunching, economics, and build narrative and all. For a bank, and HSBC is a very renowned global name in banking sector at least. So yeah, I decided to join this organization, and I joined this organization last month as a manager in the stress testing and strategic planning team. Yeah, this is all about my professional career, academic career, and my personal life as well. Apart from that, I am a very sporty person, I would say. I used to play cricket, football, badminton, table tennis, volleyball, and what else? Kabaddi. Yeah. And yeah, this is all about, you could say, my hobbies and my me time.
Okay. Let me
Yes,
just
sir.
put you offline for a minute. I
Yeah,
don't
yes,
want
sir.
to record something. I just want to discuss with you, and then we'll
Yeah,
be
yes.
back. Okay.
Yeah.
So we are back from the pause, and the question to Sagar was, does he want to speak in Hindi for some time? And he said yes. So bolo Sagar, bolo.
Yes, sir. So मतलब बेसिकली हमारा मदर टंग भी हिंदी ही है. हम बेसिकली घर पे हिंदी में ही बात करते हैं. सो एंड ऑफ कोर्स आई मेरा घर बेसिकली बंगाल बॉर्डर के पास में है. सो आई नो बंगाली एज वेल. तो मेरे को हिंदी और बंगाली, थोड़ा बहुत भोजपुरी का भी फ्लेवर आई नो. दिल्ली में रहने के बाद थोड़ा बहुत पंजाबी का भी फ्लेवर मिल गया बेसिकली. सो मेरा करियर, मेरा लर्निंग, मेरा एकेडमिक करियर, मेरा पर्सनल ग्रोथ, सबका अपना अपना होता है. बट इन माय केस मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि मैंने काफी ज्यादा हम्प एंड द ट्रेजेक्टरी पाथ बेसिकली वाज क्वाइट लाइक माय नेम, सागर की तरह हमेशा ऊपर नीचे ऊपर नीचे ऊपर नीचे, और हर बार मुझे कुछ ना कुछ अच्छा ही मिला. मैं फॉर एग्जांपल मैं हैदराबाद यूनिवर्सिटी ज्वाइन किया, मैं जेएनयू चाह रहा था, मुझे जेएनयू मिल गया. नॉट एग्जैक्टली बट सीडीएस मिला. आफ्टर दैट समहाउ मेरे को लगा कि नहीं, इससे अच्छा भी कुछ हो सकता, लेट्स ट्राई। तो मुझे IGIDR मिला। IGIDR मिलने के बाद मुझे एक्सपीरियन मिला। एक्सपीरियन मिलने के बाद मुझे लगा कि नहीं, मुझे शायद ये जॉब नहीं करना, मुझे थोड़ा अपने हेल्थ को भी देखना है एंड खुद के पर्सनल ग्रोथ पे काम करना है। देन आई रियलाइज ठीक है, तो मैंने एक आर ए सिप करा प्रोफेसर रेजी के साथ। देन उसके बाद ट्रस्ट ब्रिज मिला। वो बहुत ही अच्छा प्लेटफॉर्म था मेरे लिए टू ग्रो माई सेल्फ, रिसर्च में कैसा एक्सपीरियंस मिलता है, कैसा एक्सपोजर होता है। उसके बाद आई वॉज लाइक ठीक है, देखते हैं क्या होता है क्या होता है। आउट ऑफ नो वेयर मेरे को HSBC मिल गया। सो आई वॉज वेरी थैंकफुल टू गॉड। आई मतलब मैं बचपन से ही मेरा ऐसा ही रहा। इवन स्कूल्स में भी मेरे को 5 6 स्कूल्स मैंने चेंज किया, नर्सरी टू क्लास 4 तक एक स्कूल, 4 से 7 एक स्कूल, 8 अलग स्कूल, 8 9 10 अलग स्कूल, देन 11 12 अलग स्कूल। ऐसा रहा है मेरा ट्रेजेक्टरी। तो या एंड ऑफ कोर्स मैं हमेशा देखता हूँ कि अगर मैंने कभी किसी के साथ कुछ चाहे अनचाहे भी बुरा करा है, तो आई वुड गो एंड अपोलोजाइज कि ठीक है यार, सॉरी, आई रियली सिंसियरली अपोलोजाइज फॉर दैट थिंग। एंड ऑफ कोर्स इस पूरे करियर के बाद में मेरे बहुत सारे दोस्त बने हैं जिससे ऑलमोस्ट मैं हमेशा टच में होता हूँ, नो मैटर व्हाट। कुछ भी हो, उनको कुछ हो, मुझे कुछ हो, हमेशा हमारा चिट चैट होता है, कैचअप हो जाता है। अगर घर गए हैं तो घर के दोस्त है, कॉलेज के फ्रेंड्स है तो कॉलेज के फ्रेंड्स के साथ व्हाट्सएप हो गया, ग्रुप्स हो गया, ट्रिप्स हो गया, कुछ ना कुछ चलता रहता है। लाइक आई वाज लाइक दिस। एंड कभी भी कुछ भी सबके साथ लाइफ में प्रॉब्लम्स आता है, वेदर हमारा एकेडमिक्स हो, प्रोफेशनल करियर हो, पर्सनल करियर हो। आई ऑलवेज बिलीव कि ठीक है, टाइम है, पास हो जाएगा, दिस टू शैल पास। मेरा ऐसा थिंकिंग रहा है। एंड ऑफ कोर्स एट द सेम टाइम मेरे को आई एम ऑलवेज बीइंग होपफुल कि ठीक है, मुझे चाहिए, मुझे होप अच्छा लगता है, सामने देखना अच्छा लगता है। ठीक है, कितना भी बुरा सिचुएशन हो, कुछ ना कुछ तो हो जाएगा, कुछ ना कुछ तो हो जाएगा। अगर एक डोर बंद हो रहा है तो दो डोर नया खुलेगा। थोड़ा टाइम लग सकता है, किसी को 1 महीने लग सकता है, किसी को 1 दिन लग सकता है, किसी को 1 साल लग सकता है। या sir, I think I've covered all the aspect
Okay,
what
all
I
right.
wanted to say. Yeah.
So let me say that look, you are really highlighted that confusion is a part of life.
Yeah, definitely, sir. I always
Confusion is a part of life.
part of life. Yeah,
Don't be afraid of confusion because the end
exactly.
result will be good if you work hard
Good.
and
Yeah.
motivated. So, I mean, that HSBC job is, I'm sure, pays well, and a lot of people would die to get that job. So, it's a good job. You
Definitely.
are saying ki you got it without any effort. You weren't even desperate for it. So, you've got it. So, congratulations. That's well done. But
Thank you so much, sir, for that. Sir, just for clarification, I have put a lot of effort for that interview.
oh, you
You
did.
know, yeah, it was that the second round came out of nowhere.
I
I was
see.
like, I lost the hope ki, I got a chance to appear for second round. Yeah, it was just that.
Good. So, you are, I mean, what I see is that you take full advantage of the opportunities, and
Yeah, definitely.
you've had some problems like typhoid. Okay.
Yeah,
So it could say, oh no, now I'm finished, but you didn't do that. You said,
yeah.
okay, it's typhoid. Okay, ठीक है. I have to do
हो
something,
जाएगा.
but I've
Yes,
come back. So it's very good of you to tell us that look, you can have personal problems, you can have physical problems, but you can still come back and do well. Okay, and you can just keep looking here and there. And today's India, you will find something.
yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Now I think your path is a little bit set. It's in the financial sector. Now, where in the financial sector, that remains to be seen, but it is in the financial sector. Whether it is the credit worthiness of people, credit worthiness of the bank's portfolio, something like that. What do you say to
Yes,
that?
sir, yes.
Uh,
Sir, again, I would say I had a discussion with my manager one day. So I just asked him, ki, what should I do now? I got a job. I wanted to do something in economics domain. And this job is quite aligned with my interest as well. At the same time, people are appearing for FRM, CFS. There is one more certification, CQM or QRM, something like that. You know, and I showed my interest that I wanted to pursue. I wanted to, sorry. I wanted to go for FRM. Then he also seems quite, not shocked, I would say, but he appreciated me that in the very early stage, you people are like so concerned about your career and all. So he explained me and helped me to solve the confusion between going for FRM and CFA. And at the same time, because this risk domain itself is, for the next 30, 20, 30, 50 years, what people were saying, it's a word of mouth. Basically, I have very less experience, of course. At the same time, people economy is always growing and growing and growing. So risk sector is very much in the boom, I would say, for the next 20, 30, 40 years. I don't know, like for a long term, let's say, for a long term. So of course, I wanted to pursue my career in the race domain itself. And no matter how artificial intelligence chat GPT will come, we need economists at the end of the day to give the logic, to learn the behavior of a customers or the consumers or the people of an economy or a
Okay.
state, for
Okay.
that matter. So yeah, most likely I'll go. I am planning for higher certification degree or something like that. Right now I am very unsure, I'm confused, as you said. Confusion is a part of life, of course. So yeah, I am seeking some guidance as well at the same time. But this year I'm going to bit occupied because again, my one of my younger sisters is going to marry like after 3 months. So I am bit occupied, so I mentally prepared that let's enjoy this year and start preparing up fresh from next year. Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to add here?
Sir, just one thing I would like to say. Hope is always good. Everyone should be hopeful for what we have,
Mhm.
because at the same time, like 7-8 billion people are in the world. At the same time, like we are almost in the top 5 percentile, top 5%.
Mhm.
So no matter what happened, end of the day is going to be good. No matter people are, there are so many, we can found so many quotations that aging is something very different.
Mm.
In the process of aging, when we grown
Mm.
up, like after 25,
Mm.
26, so many people comes and stay with you. So many people come and live with you,
Mm.
leave you. We try to build some, personal connection, that personal level connections. Yeah, because we never know like how uncertain people can be. At the same time, we also don't know like how useful or how helpful or how, in terms of the guidance, in terms of their experience, they will provide us, no matter where we are. Whenever, like from TrustBridge, of course, I was there in like what 2-3 months in TrustBridge, and I built a very good relationship with my manager, with 2 of 3 of my colleagues at the same time, and we are still in touch. It
Okay.
was a matter of time. So we always try to, learn people. I would say learn the organization you are going to, learn the people you are dealing with, you are growing with, because most of the time, most of our productive time, 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, for
Mm.
that matter, we are spending our time with them,
Okay.
right? So it's very important at the same time to learn the people.
Okay. All right.
To learn, yeah, that
Okay.
is
So
it.
good. So let's end it here. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon.
Yeah, yeah, sure,
Until
sir.
then, yeah. Bye, everybody.